Tonight at the Writers' Fest, Yejide Kilanko will take the stage alongside Lyndon McIntyre and Lauren B. Davis. Yejide was born and raised in Nigeria. These days she makes Chatham her home, where she works as a therapist in the field of children's mental health. As a writer, she also focuses on youth. Daughters Who Walk This Path tells the story of a girl named Morayo who must fight to break an oppressive tradition of silence in the family home in order to protect herself and her sister. One of the nurturing characters in the book is Morenike, an aunt to Morayo. We invited Yejide to read from her book, just to whet your appetite for tonight. Here she is, reading from chapter 10. This excerpt tells the story of Morenike about to leave a village where she's visiting her grandmother.
The night before they left, Morenike went looking for Damilare and Mama Omo. She had just finished packing their last bag. She found them sitting at the back of the house under the giant shea tree. Standing at the door, Morenike watched them for a few minutes. The dusky red rays of the setting sun had settled around their faces, turning their skin a magnificent mahogany shade. Damilare's chubby little arms grabbed at Mama Omo's face as she threw him gently into the air. His delighted laughter rang out in the still evening. Damilare had spent most of his short life riding on Mama Omo's back, watching quietly as they went about their day at the market. Morenike knew they would miss each other very much. She sat down beside them, watching their play. Damilare, tired from his busy day at the market, soon fell asleep in his great-grandmother's lap. His snores brought smiles to both their faces. Morenike turned to her grandmother. "Mama Omo, I'm afraid," she whispered, not wanting to wake Damilare up. "Afraid? What are you afraid of, my child?" Mama Omo asked. "How can the daughter of the fearless warrior woman, Gonjubola, be afraid?" "Please do not let anyone hear you," she said in mock horror, as a playful smile flitted across her face. Morenike started to laugh. She knew that Mama Omo was secretly proud of her very outspoken daughter, even if she did not understand her. Mama Omo had once asked Morenike the story of how her mother used to wear trousers under her skirts when she was a little girl. She had decided that just in case she had to fight a boy, she did not want to be at a disadvantage. From a very young age, Morenike knew that her mother was very different from other mothers. Mommy Beji never failed to speak against an injustice. It did not matter if she was the only woman standing in the midst of a dozen men. "Mama, don't our elders say that is the child of the courageous one who turns out to be a coward?" "You, my dear child, are no coward," Mama replied, shaking her head. "What you have survived in this past year requires great courage. You're like me," she told her granddaughter with a smile. "We are the silent, strong women of Omo." "Morenike," she continued, "you cannot hide here forever. Listen, my child, we do not abandon the business of living life just because of what people will say about us. Do people not even talk about the dead?" Mama patted Morenike's arm. "It is time for you to go back home with your son. Go and finish your schooling. Become that teacher you've always wanted to be. I will be right here if you need me." Mama held her granddaughter's arm. "Promise me that one day you would find it in your heart to forgive Damilare's father. Remember that Damilare's father is a part of him too. Please do not teach your son to hate a part of himself."
Chatham-based writer Yejide Kilanko reading from her debut novel, Daughters Who Walk This Path. She's at the Writers' Festival tonight at 8:30 p.m. alongside Lyndon McIntyre and Lauren B. Davis. It's hosted by CBC News' Adrian Harewood and takes place at Knox Presbyterian Church.